still be pretty nice folks after 50 years, 60 years. You're all still here, you're all still nice, we're still loving it. Well, what I want to say is, you start out a family with two folks that don't have a clue. Mama and I was 23, Mama was 21 or so, something like that. We had Ramon. And we didn't know anything, but we did the best we could. We went and worked and worked and worked, and they all turned out to be reasonable folks. And they looked at our example, and then as the other children, the next children came along, they saw, well, Ramon was doing this, and Ramon was doing that. That must be a good thing to do. And then along came Ronald, and there's another one. Well, he must have known what he was doing.
Oh, yeah.
We'll listen to him too.
Well, there's a shining example.
My point is that each of you children, as you came along, were an influence on those who followed. And Reagan was 15 years later than Ramon, and so he was just by the time they were 20 and getting ready to leave the house, he was just beginning to pick up that there was somebody here else who had different ideas about what went on in the world and how to do things. Well, I wanted to say something about Reagan because recently he wrote a nice little letter I got to Mama and I about his memories of his childhood and what he learned from his brothers. And I wanted to just read a few comments that he made.
Your personal letter has become public.
Now here goes. I hope I don't.
This is why he got that bag on his head.
Turn it out real big, Dad.
About Ray, Reagan remembers Ramon building a real cool go-kart for he and Robert. About Ronald, he remembers you were an outgoing person and people followed you. He says, I know that you helped me to become a leader. And that's interesting, how you influenced them. Russell, I remember how intelligent and studious you were. I wish I emulated you more, emulated your love of studying more.
Oh yeah, I love to study. Dan. Nothing I like better.
It's not too late, Greg. He says, I loved your carefree, crazy lifestyle despite the fact that it drove me cuckoo. Among people in my business, I'm considered the crazy one. But in my family, I'm considered the one of the more sane ones. I'd say a lot. If he's sane, the rest of us are nuts. Robert was my slightly older brother. The kind of brother that every little kid ought to have. Kind of big brother that every kid ought to have. We played baseball, skateboarded, and built forts together. Robert did most of the building, and I did most of the having the fun in the forts. What little patience I have, I learned from you. That's a good thing. Thank you, Robert. Now, Dad, I remember you coaching our baseball team. You taught me to use tools and fix things, and then you showed me unconditional love. I could tell when you were disappointed in me, and that kept me in line because I didn't want to disappoint you. Now that's exactly what my mother did for me. She spoiled the daylights out of me, gave me unconditional love, and there's quite a few times when I was about to get into big, deep trouble, and I said, no, Mama said be home at 10 o'clock, I better go.
We're just going out.
Experience. And then he says about Mom. Mom, you don't get all the accolades Dad does because he needs them. Thank you. But I get them, that's a good part. You're the foundation of this family, and I believe your outgoing personality and your take-it-or-leave-it attitude that you instilled in us no doubt led us to be entrepreneurs. And here's a guy that worked all his life for wages. I got 5 guys that got their own business going. That's very strange. I don't think I had the discipline to run my own business. If I was in charge, I'd give myself too much liberty. Let's see. I remember your sweetness when I was a kid and you'd take me down to the mall and let me pick out candies in C's candy store. I remember you didn't get mad when I was 5 years old and stole a stuffed animal toy from the department store. You just made me return the toy to the store and admit to the clerk that I had taken it. He says, that was an understanding parent teaching a life lesson. So that's an example of one guy and what he got from his family. And now we have more and more people, and we're going down to great-grandchildren, and they can talk to the old man whose ideas, some of them seem kind of cuckoo, and I think some of their ideas seem kind of cuckoo, and they can talk to their brother, those older than them, those younger than them, and they learn things from them. I think that the parents are the primary teachers of their children, but even the parents aren't always right. You know, but you sure do want to listen to your parents. It's kind of like going to the races. The race may not always go to the swiftest, but that's the way to bet. But after that, for those few other occasions, you can talk to Carter, talk to Russell, talk to the old man here, talk to Josie, Ted, and you'll get slightly different twist on things and give you an idea of what you would like to do in life, how you would like to conduct your life. You listen to your folks, and they'll get you, if lucky, they'll get you on the right track, and then other people will give you some ideas, and then you will decide what you want to do with your life. And I think that is the value that we have in this family, and we've got it in spades, right up to here, over my head, which ain't too deep, but that's pretty good. So I thank you all, and I think we've got a wonderful family, and you guys that are just come up, listen a little bit. You know, you could say, you know, all us old folks think we just got a lot of wisdom, but sometimes we can't tell the difference between wisdom and bull crap. So that's all I have to say. Thank you again for your attention and for your kindness.
Love you, Dad.
Great job, boys.